Alrighty, welcome to another episode of My Good, Bad, and Ugly in Trucking. Mr. K31 here. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much for rocking with the channel, rocking with me, your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, your support of the channel. It is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, I promise you more in-depth content, and we got more fun stuff coming down the road. So once again, thank you so much. So let's get busy. So let's talk about my good, bad, ugly of trucking. So we're in year 2025. I'm in year 7 of pulling tanker, and we have 3 more years to go, and we are shutting it down. It's been a very interesting journey, fun, very fruitful, at times stressful, but more so more rewarding than anything. So let's talk about what we just taken care of. So I've only did 2 loads. Usually at the beginning of the year, I always start off slow. I'm not lying. So I always start off slow, and then I get it going around spring, summertime. We got it wide open, so I always start off slow. So what today is I think the 16th, I believe, and I've only did 2 loads. Yeah, I've only done 2 loads, and I got another one scheduled for next week. But before before I shut it down at the end of last year, you know, we did good. So you know that the income carries over into the beginning of the year. So a lot of times I take vacation and do other things. So I went ahead and put the truck in the shop. So what did we do? We did spring hangers, and as you see, we replaced all the spring hangers. We did airbags. We did what did we do? I'm trying to remember everything. So we got spring hangers all the way around, and we did 2 prior, then we did 2 other ones. And of course you see that tire over there wore out because of the spring hanger action, and I was running good last year. Instead of me go ahead and shutting down and putting in the shop, I went ahead and ran it, and it cost me some treads on the tire, but we still got quite a bit of tread depth left there. So I wouldn't advise doing it, but sometimes I get in the it's part of my ugly in trucking. That's on my part. I like, let's run. And you know, we got everything repaired. We can throw a new tire on whenever we feel like it. I'm probably going to wear it down some more before I throw a new one on, unless it's deemed necessary to go ahead and do that. Okay, so what did we do in the front? So in the front we did kingpins, we did tie rod ends. What else did we do? Kingpins, tie rod end. They also did an alignment on it, and that was basically it. So we've done everything last year, well, the year before last year. So in 23, I replaced I redid the whole drive shaft and everything, replaced all the U-bolts and all the good stuff dealing with that, and we did some other stuff. And of course, then last year we did shocks and all the other stuff, airbags. I pretty much do airbags every year, sometimes, or every other year, for whatever reason. I think sometimes with dealing with these ISOs and different heavy loads, it just kind of do my airbags pretty bad. This one here leaks more than any of them. So a lot of times if that leaking, I'm gonna replace both of them, and sometimes I just gonna do all of them and be done with it. So, and I have new airbags on deck anyway, so that's part of the charge as well too. I got new airbags. I think that is it for the most part. So a couple of days ago I did a YouTube short on this. This was making a lot of weird noises, so check out, and I will do another one. I may put it out again and do it kingpin issues. So make a long story short, the kingpin was binding in here and was causing some issue, and it was grinding, making some weird crackling noise. So they went ahead and replaced all that again, and she's good to go. So that's basically it. So let's go ahead and see how much did all that cost. Let's go check out the invoice, and we'll end this. I got a young man who's going to do mine, and I may do them myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and shine my rims up and everything, get it looking. I met this young man in Texas when I was doing that wastewater And he had a compound he put on there, and you can see he just put a little bit on there, and look at that. That looks really good. So I discussed him going ahead. He's gonna do my rims and my tanks, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so let's see, what did all that cost? And as you see, we did, and also he redid my cab airbag, and I noticed there's a leak on that airbag, so I'll hit him up in a couple of weeks to take a look at that. I'm gonna do a spray soapy solution on it next week, and I'll film it. So let's look at what we end up doing. Like I said, we did kingpins, we replaced the grease trap, we did spring hangers, kingpin kit, rear spring hangers, bushings, all that good stuff, cab airbag, alignment, butts, note, shop supply. So they end up running, can you see right there, 36, 50, 10. And I had my spring hangers already, so it ended up all this all together with everything and the other parts that I have. It was just slight over, it was just under 5,000 for everything. So it was under 5,000 for everything, and you know, the price of doing business. So what I do outside of having a good line of credit, and of course keeping cash on hand within the company, it's called a volunteer escrow. Volunteer escrow, we can do it. It's not mandatory, but now it's mandatory for the guys who are buying trucks through the company, but it's not mandatory for those of us. Truck is paid for, and we didn't finance our truck through the company, but this truck, my truck is paid for, and I did get mine through the company, but that was years ago. So it's a maintenance account, and I set aside $300 a week in that account. I don't miss it, I don't see it. Otherwise I'll probably spend it on shoes. Y'all seen the videos. So I just set it aside, and before you know it, that money just adds. I mean, it accumulates pretty quick when you think about it, when I'm really running, so you don't miss it. So make a long story short, and I just pulled from the maintenance account and took care of everything and the other parts. So I just pulled from the maintenance account, and of course they do a company, they do a PO, and they invoice it out, and we just go from there. So, and we still got money left over in the maintenance account. So just give you a good idea. And this particular maintenance account, it maxes out at 30,000. So and then of course you can do it on the side. Of course I still have, but a lot of times I don't like pulling from my other account. And of course I got a line of credit, and sometimes I like to let my credit continue to build and don't do a lot of purchasing on it. And I do some crazy purchases as well too. Let's keep it real. I would go shopping, and of course I'll go vacation, like I swipe that card. But anyway, that's about it. So and of course I get a lot of older guys say, oh, I wouldn't do that, whatever. I mean, everybody has their own. I don't knock it, and I'm not gonna say I'm telling you what to do or endorse it. I say, you know what, I'll try it. I did it years ago, and when this new company bought the old company out, our escrow account, they refunded. They didn't do it, so they reestablished it. But that horn is loud, and got that train horn. I think I'm putting the train horn on mine. But anyway, and I went ahead and started it back up, and I'm kind of glad I did, because once again, that little 300 a week, you don't really notice it, especially when you're running. And then we get, you get the loads, it's not a problem. So, or you can do the same thing and set into another account, for all your new drivers or young drivers or whatever, just getting started, and you don't have a good line of credit, and you haven't accumulated any money as of yet because you just started in the business. If the company offers it, I would suggest, you can use that or put it into a separate account somewhere, and where you're not missing it. But if you can see it sometimes, and of course, like anything else, it takes discipline. So enough of the blah blah blah. So I'm gonna end this here on my good, bad, and ugly in trucking. Probably the weekend I'll probably come back down and clean her up, but we got some bad weather coming. I'm not gonna say bad weather, some inclement weather coming, because we don't have bad weather on this end. What they call bad weather is not, if it's not a hurricane or tornado, we don't have bad weather. So our prayers goes out to all the people that lost in the fires in California, and fires anywhere, in any kind of, whether it's flood or whatever, wind damage, tornadoes throughout the year and years. Our hearts and prayers goes out to you. Y'all stay strong, stay blessed. Once again, this is another episode of Tank Nation. Y'all be great, because greatness awaits. That's it. Now give me your face.